Hello, welcome to yet another fresh edition of the program Aqua Farming. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, this is the only program that tells you all you need to know that is in the water. They're about telling you how you can actually make money, or rather still pick another new way of raking income into your account. Today on the program, we'll be looking at maintenance of fish farm. Fish farms serve as the purpose of rearing fish for commercial and residential sales. Fish farms make money by selling their farm-made livestock. If your fish farm allows customers to catch their fish, you can also charge fishing equipment, access to fishing ponds, and fish cleaning services. Fish farming is developing as a better employment option. Fish farming is the fastest growing food production sector in the world. Hence, fish and fish-related products are in high demand worldwide. Fish farming is developing as a better employment option. Fish farming is the fastest growing food production sector in the world. Hence, fish and fish-related products are in high demand worldwide. Fish farming has a vital role in the economy. It offers many employment opportunities in services and operations. On this episode of the program, we'll be looking at fish farm maintenance. Fish farm maintenance. Take a look. During the first year of operation, fish ponds need the most maintenance as the unforeseen hidden fault occurs at this time. For example, the unexpected subsidence and settlement of dikes and the more serious erosion on the surface of dikes and excavations occur. Maintenance must be carried out continuously from the first year of operation. One can expect the following troubles with dikes: slope failure, soil slip, not slight erosion of the slope. Slight erosion in the most of the cases is caused by precipitation and is trickling down the slope. Thorough soaking and drying of the surface and negligence in dike maintenance can also cause spoiling of the upper surface of the slope. If there is a more serious erosion of slope, shoulders must be constructed on the slope and neat horizontal layers must be compacted onto the top. After the reconstruction, the dikes have to be protected against erosion. Soil slip is caused most frequently by bad quality of compacting, drenching of the dike, or quick water discharge. In such a case, a bigger quantity of soil slip down from the slope. In some places, the slip soil has to be replaced with well compacted horizontal layers of earth and possibly with a retaining wall. Slope breakthrough is caused by the same thing as soil slip. In this case, a part of the slope slips down in the round-shaped form. For reconstruction of such a failure, first of all, a foot wall should be constructed and good quality earth material should be filled and compacted in thin layers. Slumping is generally caused by a lack of proper compacting of the dike. It can also occur if the layers containing humus or organic matters were not removed from beneath the dike. Reconstruction in this case is carried out by putting a new layer of earth onto the top of the dike. Not only the base of the dike, but the dike itself may also settle. Settlement of smaller dikes is generally not higher than 2 to 4% of the height of the dike. If the settlement of the dike is higher, the dike may lose its load capacity after construction, or its load capacity is not suitable. Protection generally can be made by constructing protecting shoulders, footwalls on the one or both sides of the dike. Bigger scale erosion generally occurs in canals of higher water current capacity or after a longer operation time. Maintenance must ensure the original water supply capacity of the canals. Erosion occurring at the bottom level and on the surface of the slope. Soil slip and notch must be corrected at least once a year. At the same time, accumulated silt and mud must be removed, and vegetation obstructing free water flow must be moved or removed. At the bottom level of the fish ponds, the mud must be removed from the internal harvesting canals after the drainage of the ponds. Maintaining of good condition can be assisted by setting the feed place in these canals. Biological slope protection needs constant thorough checking and maintenance, as wave action can cause erosion of the slopes. Usually, a tree for planted reed is applied for biological slope protection. Where the reed is not strong enough temporarily, Brushwork protects the earth slope. The deficiencies in the reed strips must be replaced. The protecting reed strip must be treated continuously. Recently, new biological slope protection methods have been elaborated when some plastic materials are applied on the earth slope desired to be protected, and the plastic together with the plant's roots forms a protecting layer. Now, let's look at water control structures. Checking of structures must be carried out by separate checking of elements. Sediment and the mold must be removed from the structures before operation begins. Leakages occurring at the joint of the structures can cause cavities, which must be filled with properly compacted earth and, where it is necessary, with concrete. Leakage can be eliminated by repairing the joint or by application of bitumen filler if there are settlements of the structures, or as a consequence of them there are cracks in the structures. The method of construction must be determined separately in each case depending on the given problem. Steel structures. Elements of steel structures must be protected against corrosion. Each year, built-in structures must be cleaned with a wire brush during break of operation. Then one layer of rust-preventing paint and 2 layers of oil paints must be applied. Moving element of the structures must be regularly oiled or lubricated. Stone and concrete linings. If the stones become loose in lining on the filling materials is damaged, the stone must be replaced. Settlement of the dye can cause damage of the lining. The same damage can occur if waves wash away the bed of lining or the supporting earth. In such a case, the lining must be removed from the damaged areas. The slope must be filled up with bedding materials. The new lining must be made. The most frequent fault of concrete lining is underwashing. Reconstruction is the same as in the case of stone lining. Erosion at the end of the lining must be filled with the gravel as soon as possible, as otherwise the lining will be destroyed very easily. Construction works. The aim of reconstruction and the rebuilding of earth and the concrete structures to their original size and shape, and the replacing of some seriously damaged structures. Reconstruction means a constant modernization as well. Now, let's look at earthworks and dikes. When a life-size edge dam is reconstructed, specially classified construction materials should be applied on the basis of individual testing, while the dike with lower load can be constructed of materials dug out from the pond bottom in dry condition or hydrochemical work. In case of reconstruction of an old dike or construction of a new dike, the existing biological slope protection should be saved as much as possible. When dikes are reconstructed or new dikes are built, space should be left along the dikes for the free movement of canal cleaning machines and for the disposition of mud removed from the canal. When a new dike is designed, its crown width should be wide enough to allow movement of farm vehicles on the top of the dike if necessary. Internal drainage canals. Internal drainage canals must be reconstructed with a slope angle of at least 1.4 and 5.0 meter bottom width. The worked out earth must be removed from the pond or must be spread on the surface of the pond bottom. To make the harvesting easier, construction of an external harvesting basin or a central external harvesting basin can be useful. Canal. When the canal are reconstructed, their shape and size have to meet the requirements of those machines that are used for cleaning. Purpose of the construction is to resettle the structures to their original condition at the joint of element of structures. The water resistance must be renewed. Cavities occurring along the joint lining must be reconstructed as described in the chapter on lining. During reconstruction, some new structures can be added if necessary for the modernization of the farm. Mechanization of maintenance and reconstruction in pond fish farm is needed both because of the decreasing level of labor supply and increasing level of technical development. Moreover, it has been also recognized that economical production can be carried out only in well-maintained fish ponds, taking into account the possibilities of mechanization in pond fish farms. The maintenance works can be divided into 3 groups. Maintenance and reconstruction of pond bottom and the dike. Maintenance and construction of water supply canals and drainage canals. Maintenance of water control structures and their surroundings. The works of the first two groups can be mechanized easily, but maintenance and reconstruction of inlet and outlet structures must be made manually. Fish pond maintenance. After a few years of operation, fish ponds are silted up and their dikes are damaged. The length of this dam depends on the dike material. The method of operation and the level of dike protection agent is highly influenced by the capacity of dock production in the ponds. That is, it is advantageous from the point of view of economics but requires more maintenance. The necessity for maintenance or reconstruction is shown not only by external visible factors, but by the decrease of production and level of fish pond. As an effect of erosion, the operational water level has to be lowered, thus the useful water volume in the fish pond decreases as well. The necessity for maintenance and reconstruction is shown not only by external visible factors, but by the decrease of production level of fish ponds. As an effect of erosion, the operational water level has to be lowered, thus the useful water volume in the fish pond decreases as well. During reconstruction of fish farm facilities, the future needs of production have to be taken into account as well. Where the construction of fish pond was carried out by machines, the conditions of mechanized reconstruction work are suited to this type of work. But in case the ponds and their connected facilities were constructed by manual labor, as is done many times in practice, a complete renewal is needed. Condition of mechanized maintenance of such pond system can be ensured only by the total reconstruction of the ponds, or more exactly the pond fish farm itself. When the mechanized construction is carried out, the following procedures are needed: reconstruction of crown of dikes, replacement of eroded slopes, elimination of unevenness of pond bottom, partial removal of mold in order to ensure harvestability and drainage, removal of water weeds, reconstruction of dike protection. The larger extent of reconstruction work can be done only when the fish pond is dried out, but in some cases it is impossible to have dry conditions during the time of reconstruction. In such cases, maintenance and reconstruction cannot be carried out without special machines. For this purpose, single-purpose machines must be applied. Mechanical construction appeared in the early 50s of this century, though there were some simple machines utilized in pond construction before this time. For maintenance and reconstruction, the same machines are used as for construction. For excavation works, different types of crawler and wheel excavators dredges can be used with mechanical or hydraulic operations. For transportation of earth dammers of 3 to 6 meters, volume or dump truck are generally applied. Application of these machines is economical only over a 600-meter transportation distance. For compaction of soils, smooth steel drum, ship's foot and rubber-tied rollers, as well as vibratory compactors can be used. They may be self-propelled or towed. For slight compaction, the own transportation truck can also be used. For short distance, earth transportation at the side crawler or rubber-tied bulldozers or motor grader can be applied economically. These machines are of such a design that they can work on the slopes too. The spreading of earth materials and leveling of the surface can be carried out with good efficiency by the above-mentioned bulldozers and self-propelled or towed grader. The most efficient machines for maintenance and reconstruction are those which can be applied on slopes too. Self-propelled or tractor-drawn scrapers can be applied for such purposes. The scraper can be used both for the spreading and for the leveling of earth transported to the field. At the same time, it compacts the dikes and it has to move on the dike being constructed. The scraper can be utilized for both the processes needed in construction, maintenance, and reconstruction of fish ponds, but for economical application of it no longer than 600-meter transportation distance is allowed. Tractor-drawn scrappers with a capacity of 3 to 6 meters square are the best for maintenance works of the fish ponds. They need 500 to 100 kilowatt tractive power. Their capacity is 30 to 40 meters square at 200-meter transportation distance if crawler tractors are applied. Those scrappers that are pulled by rubber-tired tractors have a higher capacity, but their ability to move on muddy surfaces is much less. Therefore, use is not advised for fish pond construction. The tractor-drawn scrappers generally have one container that allows easy mobility. Application of scrappers with two containers is advisable only for construction of new life-size fish ponds. If needed, the above-mentioned processes can be carried out by rubber-tired tractor, shovel, or rubber-tired front-end loaders too. Using them, although they increase the cost, the quality of the earthwork can be improved. If maintenance of construction works in the pond must be carried out in or underwater, hydraulic dredges can be applied. They can be equipped with buckets or cutter heads. Some types of dredges have a rotating upper body mounted on floating bays. If such a machine is applied, the mud can be placed in a floating container fixed to the dredge and it is periodically transported out of the ponds. During the growing Now let's look at mechanized maintenance of canals. During the growing season of operating canals are covered with vegetation that increase the roughness of the slopes of the canals. If this vegetation is not removed, the water supplying capacity of canals decreases and mold accumulates on the bottom of the canal. It can be found that the water supplying capacity of a canal decreases to 1/6 when it is covered with dense vegetation. Thus, the regular moving of vegetation is important. Overgrowing of weeds is basically influenced by the length of operation of canals. If the annual average water depth is 40 to 60 centimeters, not only rooted plants will grow, but floating water vegetation as well. The hydraulic condition of canals deteriorate if there is overgrown vegetation and at the same time the settling of mud is speeding up. In general, mold removal is needed when the cross-section of a sediment layer reaches 15 of the weighted surface of bigger canals and 25% of the weighted surface of smaller canals. Prior to mechanized maintenance, first, the terrain correction of dikes must be carried out in order to ensure the free movement of the machines along the canals. For this purpose, rubber tied or crawler bulldozers and grades can be used, preferably with adjustable blade, for removal of vegetation in medium-sized canals. Buckets movers can be applied. These moves cut up weeds and remove it from the slope. From an economical point of view, the removal of the mud must be carried out together with removal of the water weeds. This work can be done by special type of dredges. Removal of mud from the smaller and medium-sized canals in case of lower water depth is carried out by machines moving along the canal equipped with a hydraulic dredging device, by one-purpose machines or by dredging boats if the water depth is sufficient. Mud placed on the dike of the canal must be spread after drying. For this purpose, simple bulldozers can be used. Agricultural tractors with 40 to 60 kilowatt capacity can be used for the maintenance of canals. In Hungarian farms, the multi-purpose tractor MTZ80 is applied with high efficiency for maintenance works if equipped with special attachment. These are the following: hydraulically operated booms equipped with small-size excavating buckets, depth cage or mower rotary scraper, which can be applied for reshaping of smaller dikes of canals. Dozer blade mounted to the back of the tractor and adjustable hydraulically and manually. Its working depth is 0 to 1.50 meters, working with 900 to 40. Two-disc rotary mower mounted to the tractor, mowing the shoulder, the crown, and the slopes of the dike. Mowing width is 1.65 meters. The tractor equipped with about 7 meters long booms has to be applied with hydraulics supporting legs for the same of stability. The hydraulic tractor in general can be equipped with the following devices: depth cage, silt pump, rotary mower, swimming blader mower, bucket mower, saw blade cutter. These devices can be applied for the following maintenance works: a depth cage, excavating the mud from the bottom of the canal and placing it on the dike of the canal. Its capacity is 10 to 15 meters. The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria (ARCN) coordinates the activities of research institutes and is responsible for supervision, regulation, coordination of research activities and programs of higher institutions in Nigeria. And Professor Hamidu Shaributu, since assumption as Executive Secretary of ARCN in April 2020, has solidified the transformation of agriculture in Nigeria through strategic and meaningful execution of research findings for improvement of the agricultural sector.
For grains, we have the parabolic solar dryers. These are specialized solar dryers used for drying agricultural produce such as whole grains, yam and cassava chips, fruits and vegetables more efficiently. It is made of a special material that concentrates the rays of the sun within the enclosure while eliminating harmful ultraviolet radiation. Products dried are free from contaminants and are hygienic.
The parabolic shaped solar dryer is a need-based technology because virtually when we travel all over the country, you will see by the roadside, you see people drying all sorts of agricultural produce. Some spread their own on bare ground, and by the time the vehicles are moving, the raised dust, the dust stay on the products. The reptiles will come, they will eat whatever they can eat, drop their feces and their urine on it, and the owner comes in the evening to pack everything together and still eat that product. And the product has been contaminated, and we feel this is not right, and it is part of our mandate to make sure that we set it right, and that was what led to this, so that we can solve this problem at the grassroots level. Instead of drying by the roadside, drying on just bare ground in their villages, when they have this as a drying center, everybody in the community can bring their product there, spread on the tray, and they get it dried under hygienic condition that is covered. And the dryer also have another property to screen the ultraviolet ray of the sun, which is also can cause hazard to human health.
Since then, Professor Shaributu has operated as visionary captain by restoring the council's glory with the first ever agricultural television and radio station in Nigeria, with well-equipped studios parading state-of-the-art equipment.
The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria also has a brand new electronic library to further promote research and visualizations of deep thoughts on agricultural development in Nigeria.
The museum, located in the Senator Abdullahi Adamu Center, is an agricultural museum saddled with the responsibility of keeping records of agricultural findings, discoveries, researches for continuity and history purposes.
The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria is wearing a new look under the stewardship of Professor Garba Hamidu Shaributu, who says, "Alone, I am nothing, but together, I am something." ARCN,
promoting agriculture. Many thanks for staying with us on your first agricultural TV station. This business of fish farming demands careful daily supervision, skills, and special knowledge. A fish farm is a place and base for fish culture that meets the everyday needs of fish at various stages of fish life, growth and development, commercial fish farm breeding, and for production management. Integrated utilization provision, work efficiency of economic benefits. Only in this way can innovative fish farms lay the foundation for increasing both production and income, creating economic efficiency and providing favorable environment.